My name is Pierre Dubois. I am a healer and an ascension teacher. What I teach is spiritual alignment. I try to help be of service and allow people to be the best that they can be. I am doing this series of short videos as a way to try to create spiritual readiness for 2012. There are lots of beliefs and lots of expectations, depending on where you're looking at. Some people are expecting doomsday, others are expecting the rollout of heaven on earth to occur December 21st, 2012. I think the thing to be aware of is that depending on which Mayan calendar you're looking at, the date is not set in stone. It's not necessarily December 21st. It might be 14, it might be 2015, or sometime thereafter. But certainly we can assume that in our lifetime, a shift is about to occur. Okay? A transformation of kind. We know that the prediction is about an alignment of this planet Earth with the sun and then with the galactic core, with no other stellar body in between. Okay, for a period of time. Now, it so happened that the sun, as a big mass of hydrogen that's on fire, it's a cold fusion reaction, is about 1 million times wider than our own planet. And it releases, in the process of this, of its own pole reversal. The north and the south pole of the sun reverse every 11 years. And there's a scheduled reversal December, around the end of the year, December 21st going into the following year in January. And as it gets closer to reversal, the sun begins to release a lot of flares, which are basically magnetic filament from the sun that get ejected at unbelievable speed, bringing solar storm to collide with our own magnetic field. Now, the process of doing this does a couple of things. When the collision occurs, it deforms our own magnetosphere, which is the edge of our own magnetic field. And it also does a second thing, is that it actually destroys the magnetic filaments that exist around the magnetospheres. And it's not just the magnetic field that's being destroyed, it is also the collective belief that everyone on the planet are holding together. What I mean to say is this, that this is important now. 7 billion people holding similar thought create reality. We know that whatever thought system that we're holding actually will create the experience that we have. Collectively, the planet is in a state of fear or belief in lack of happiness, lack of joy, lack of peace, and it's going on around, and it has to do with the collective thought that we are expressing. So the sun is bombarding us with these solar flares that are destroying these filaments and these thought systems as well. You know, the concern that most people on the planet have, and the news medias the past few weeks have been talking a lot about we had a couple of X-class, which are the higher class solar flares, and the concern in all the news medias were about electrical grid, power outages, or satellite or GPS navigation were going to go out. What people are failing to realize is that we are also electrical in nature. We have microvolt of electricity that exists in our cellular structure. Our brain is one of the most complex wired systems with neuron net connecting together to each other to allow cognitive functions. The middle of our brain is a pineal gland. It's a small little gland that often light workers and healers refer to as the third eye. There are vestiges in there that connects to perception tissues. That gland can actually feel when there is magnetic disturbance around it because of the magnetite. And that magnetic disturbance causes it to vibrate. And when it vibrates, it causes the pineal gland to inflame. And when it inflames, it causes distress in the electrical circuitry in the brain. When that occurs, the brain, to counterbalance, produces DMT, dimethyl tryptamine, which is basically a psychotropic drug that you can find in LSD, in mushroom, and in ayahuasca tea. Okay? So the people who are solar sensitive, like the healers, people who constantly use the so-called third eye, or for that matter, the people who have some sort of mental dysfunction, epilepsy, schizophrenic, people who have enlarged pineal gland, are the first to actually feel this. And what they experience, and what I have personally experienced as well, I want to share with you. It may be something that you're experiencing right now as well, as the flares are increasing and increasing. There is a strange migraine headache that's in the middle of your head. It's consistent, and the degree of it varies depending on the intensity of the storm that we're going through. Some people have had a sensation of buzzing around them, like they are flying or something. You feel like there's a vibration, a buzzing. Others, like me, have had experiences you think that insects are crawling over your body. The other thing, it occurs as well, it wakes you up in the middle of the night. Like when the flares are released, I don't need to look at the computer to know. If they're released at night, I am awake. I can actually, the energy literally wakes me from sleep. Other people have nausea, or the feeling of palpitation, or panic attack. All of them, and the worst part, the worst symptom, I had 2 healers reach out to me to tell me that they actually went temporarily blind. And this is due to the fact that when the pineal gland is enlarged, it actually begins to push against optic nerve that are very close. And when that pinging occurs, it causes them to go blind. Now, the final symptoms, which is of extreme importance, is that it causes, because DMT is a psychotropic chemical, it causes some people to have hallucinations. You begin to see things that are extremely dark, and they are very dark and sinister, and they are being caused by the collective fear that everyone in the planet is holding that have been destroyed. I'm an architect by training, and I use this analogy to teach my students all the time that when you're demolishing a building, as you're jackhammering and bulldozering and taking things down, sledgehammering it down, what actually occurs is that you have to keep hosing things down. Because if you don't hose it down, there's tremendous dust and debris. So the ether of the planet becomes completely filled with magnetic debris, fear debris, and it manifests for those who have that DMT experience into horrible hallucinations. Now, solution sets. How do we actually deal with this? We were meant to co-create with the sun. The sun is not trying to burn us up or trying to destroy us. What the sun is doing is actually collapsing an old paradigm, destroying a collective fear-based belief system, and allowing and clearing an opportunity where a new paradigm can arise. The new belief system that's getting installed is about truth, transparency, and authenticity. Whatever is hidden will be revealed. Whatever secrets, whatever items collectively on the planet. And one can very quickly look around and it's not too far a stretch to begin to see what I'm talking about. Whether it is the Occupy movement, whether it is what's happening in Egypt, in Syria, all over the Middle East, whether it is the global economical collapse that we're going through, all belief systems are falling apart. So it is a rising of a new energy that's about truth, transparency, and about being authentic. If you want to co-create with this program, the idea is that, for example, when I wake up in the middle of the night, because there is a solar flare and I can go back to sleep, I ask all my guidance, all the beings that are overlighting me, for help in removing all my own personal core fears, all the false beliefs and false accesses that I am holding within myself that have nothing to do with my authentic nature. I ask that they remove it on a continual basis until they're all gone. Co-create with it. This is a wave that's coming in. Ride the wave, surf it. Do not get caught by the undertow. Allow this to be an opportunity for transformation and change. So what I'm suggesting as well, in addition to doing this, ask your guidance to figure out a way to remove not only your own personal core fear, but the core fear out of the entire ether of the planet. Move forward and take a proactive step instead of seeing it as you being victimized. You know, the beauty of all of this is that these beings who are your guides cannot interfere with your free will. They can help and do a tremendous amount of things. But if you don't ask them, they are going to do absolutely nothing. Remember, fear is a destroyer of light. Do not let your fear paralyze you, but rather become proactive and become the steward and the guardian that we were made to be. Co-create with this change, move with the change, and you will actually become the light and the beacons for others to follow.
Roar!